I'm trying to be rational about it, but I think you should be able to engage the swarm host, the locust, without having to just completely move your army and just give up whatever they're in line of. Because by the time you kill the locust, another round has come up anyway, so it's like,
Can't
what do
win.
you do?
Yeah, I hear you.
And I've been in situations where I've killed like 3 to 4 bases of the Zerg, and it doesn't matter because I can't kill their corruptor swarm host army.
Yep, I've had that happen to me as well. The Zerg guys, of course, are saying that Loki should be maintained in their current respawn rate.
But yeah, and so all it's gonna do is promote 2 base all-ins from Protoss, which they complain about all the time, but they're feeding the freaking fire.
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Ace match between Raytheon and Boeing on Heavy Rain. This is JW Schmo, your host, with Daddy-O from Team Boeing. Let's go ahead and get this up. 5. And it's 2 and 2. Do I have everything? We got sound, we've got that. You just need the actual gameplay. And we are in. Daddy-O, who is in the upper left-hand corner?
In the top half of the map, for Team Boeing, it's the blue Terran Aviva.
And ladies and gentlemen, in our ace match between Raytheon and Boeing, playing for Raytheon as the red Protoss is Belgrade. And really the question comes down to, is the cat still in the hat for Belgrade?
Yeah, we should chat about it. We can chat about the cat in the hat for Belgrade.
And I hear a dog.
That's my dog.
Ah, the dog is in the game. Forever immortalized in StarCraft 2.
The dog is barking. That actually, that's either Buddy or Tilly. I think by the bark, it sounds like Tilly.
Interesting. So now Belgrade made a very interesting point in the conversation leading up to this ace match. We haven't seen anything else other than 1 base all-ins from Boeing, and let me quantify that. We have seen naturals going down for Boeing players, but it has his comment, and I'll let you talk to it, was that Boeing seems to be doing a lot of 1 base play today. Is that on purpose? You guys got something going on there?
So, one of the strategies of one of our higher level players, their Stimpack, he was actually cast by Day 9 a couple of weeks ago. He wants to really give the impression that of a one base all-in builds going into the playoffs. Put the fear of our opponents. Put the fear of God into our opponents. Just fear of the 1 base. And so, really, I think it's a good tactic by him of just showing 1 build over and over and over again.
Very nice, very nice. Playsically saying, this is what we're gonna do. You know it's coming, but you can't stop us.
Yeah, pretty much. And then in the playoffs, it'll give us really options to do whatever we feel like. If we want to do the 1 base all in, we'll do the 1 base all in. But our opponents really are going to have to scout it because they're going to always know that the possibility of a 1 base all in is going to be there.
And I have to say, I really do like the psychology behind it. Raytheon does have its own little psych plays that we have as well. We definitely pick out our roster in a way that we think will give us an advantage. And that is the fun of After Hours Gaming League for everyone, is you got a bunch of employees that have a desk job who get to come out and pretend like they're superstars in a strategic battle of dominance for the galaxy.
Really, we're just trying to destroy all other races. Really, all other opponents. There's no room for the Zerg here. We should just get rid of them all.
Yeah, so that high five missile actually is more potent than you would initially think.
Exactly. It high fives, the Protoss. It high fives the Terran maybe, but for Zerg it just blows everything up.
And on that note, Belgrade, having noticed that trend from his Boeing opponent, does look like he's going to be going for some proxy pylon shenanigans here. He's got a Stalker, got a Zealot, poking away at these Marines. And I don't think Aviva.
He's not gonna see. He's not gonna see it. He's not gonna see it. That pylon is gonna be crucial in warping in backstabbing units for the Protoss.
It is, and as a result, it is going to allow Belgrade some nice positioning here.
And he's got to be careful. Aviva's got to be careful here. This little push here. He's already lost 3 Marines, but oh, he lost another one.
Going down. It does look like Belgrade, though, using that Zealot really to just soak up damage. That's really what that was all about. And I do think that that one, let's see, it does look like a Zealot and a Stalker are going to go down for Belgrade. A little bit of a precarious position for him. Going to warp in some more units.
Yeah, and this mothership core is out of position here. You don't necessarily want to have your mothership core that far out in front of your base.
No, it does leave him to be a little bit disadvantaged here. It does look like that mothership core is a little bit in danger of going down. However, all of the Marines that were attacking it look to be cleaned up here by this Zealot and 2 Stalkers.
Yeah, and Belgrade being good about warping units in the back. He's got two Stalkers that are coming to greet these units as they come across the map. So now what is Viva's response going to be?
That is really the question. Looks like he's going to turtle a little bit here in response to this aggression from Belgrade. And it will help stabilize this game a little bit. Belgrade's going to be able to get his natural down and get some workers going on there. Still a little bit heavy though on the worker count on his main base. And we are going to see a little bit of an engagement here. Marauders are going to finish up. Zealots are going to start pounding away at, well, at nothing. They're going to run. They're going to tank up some damage there.
Some bunkers here are nice because they increase the range of your infantry units by 1. So they won't be outranged by the Stalkers, so that will be good for Aviva. Getting that sentry will be huge, but he doesn't end up getting it.
Sentry a little bit out of position there, a little bit of a misclick on the on Belgrade's part. However, he's able to stabilize that one sentry.
He's got his natural expand up in his base, but it's way behind the Protoss. Protoss right now has 34 units or 34 workers to Aviva's 27. Now he does have mules, which count for about 6 workers, so not too far behind. But once we see the double base from the Protoss players start to kick in, we're really going to see that worker count skyrocket.
Yes, and the other problem for Aviva right at the moment is he is supply blocked. He's going to rectify that here momentarily. However, that is going to slow down his unit production. A little bit of a scout here. SCV coming out. Looks like it's going to be taken down in quick order by Belgrade.
Yeah, and it's really interesting here. The response to this from the Terran player probably is to drop the main or the natural of the Protoss player, because he sees all of his units. All of his units are down at his natural, so
it does look like some base, some medevac drops will be in good order here right now. However, it does look like that one observer was taken down by Aviva. That missile turret, absolutely key there. Going to prevent Belgrade from seeing the high ground once again. And as you said, the scan is going down here for Aviva. He's going to see that his opponent doesn't have anything packing at his own base.
we see the red force field. Look at that force field. It's a nice red shimmer, the Raytheon red. It says, "Don't come here. I'm a red force field. You don't want to mess."
I almost feel like those have the length of those has decreased just a wee bit. However, you're right. That is a trademark color, Raytheon red, and we use it quite proudly in our company almost all the time.
Ooh, and we see Colossus.
Colossus on the field. Going to be very effective. Doesn't have range upgrade yet, but that is going to be rectified here in about 30 seconds. That'll allow that Colossus to shoot further than the Marauders, which is key for Protoss in this instance, because it allows Belgrade to engage those Marauders without having to take damage.
And also important to note that there aren't any Vikings on the field. But we also don't see a Twilight Council. Usually when you go Colossus, you'll see Blink behind it. So Vikings right now would be really strong. However, there aren't. There is that reactor on the starport, but I don't think Aviva really knows that there's Colossus out on the map yet.
No, he has not scouted it just yet. And the second one is out on the playing field, and that is going to give Belgrade a bit of an advantage for the moment if he can time a push out. However, Aviva, it looks like he is going to be going for a drop play here, trying to get a little bit back in sync, a little bit back ahead of his opponent with this play. And he is waiting right now. However, Belgrade kind of anticipating that. Looks like he's going to be putting down some photon cannons. That is going to give him a little bit, talking earlier about redundancy and peace of mind, that is going to allow him to have a little bit of peace of mind against his medevac, even though that is a stationary defensive structure.
Yeah, the thing about cannons really is that they're good in high numbers, but one or two, this medevac is going to get caught.
And the medevac goes down.
Cannons are good in defense in high numbers if they're near your mineral line. Trying to zone out forces like that doesn't always work too well because the medevacs can just boost over the top of the cannon, especially over in that corner. Yeah, it worked well at deflecting, and then they went around, and obviously you saw that a lot of stalkers here. But yeah, you saw that the medevac went right into the stalkers.
And on that note, it does look like Aviva has seen the Colossus on the field. He is getting 4 Vikings right now, and he does have the Ghost Academy down. So the transition there that I've typically seen for PvT is Protoss needs to go for High Templar to get the feedback on that. However, that's a really micro-intensive play for Protoss to be able to take out the Ghosts, which will be able to take out pretty much the entire shields of a Protoss army.
Yeah, that's a good point. So typically you would start the Templar Archives or the Robo Bay, whichever tech you started right when you drop your third. Oh, and here we see a push right here from
engagement. Vikings a little bit out of position. Force fields are going down, going to catch him off guard a little bit.
It just looks like these Colossus are just going to town. There's nothing that can stop these Colossus from just doing epic amounts of damage here. This army just is gonna go down. Force fields, zoning out some of those units. The natural is gonna fall. This is not looking good for Aviva.
No, it's not. And those Colossus are absolutely doing work. SUV's getting called in. One Colossus is gonna fall. A second one, though, not yet falling. And ladies and gentlemen, the GG. In game number 5, Raytheon is able to pull out from the clutches of defeat a win against Boeing. Daddy-O, give me your thoughts on this matchup.
On this last game, it was that 2 gate or that 2 racks was just supposed to put on a little bit of pressure. Belgrade caught it out at the middle of the map, did a really good job at defending, was very cost efficient with his stalkers. Ran in that Zealot. Typically what the Terran is supposed to do at that point is kite backwards, kill the Zealot, and then it leaves your stalkers exposed. The problem with that is he didn't really micro very well, lost a lot of Marines, and then at that point the game just kind of snowballed because Belgrade was able to get out in his early natural, and there's not a whole lot you can do after that as a Terran player.
Yeah, and I think having Belgrade having noticed that tendency for one base play really changed his gameplay. It seemed much more aggressive to me than what I've seen in the past, and it was nice to see that adjustment made by Belgrade in this game as well. Shouts out for both players and all the players for this week. Well done on both teams. I know I've been thrilled to be able to livecast here with Daddy-O for sure.
Yeah, it's been a great experience. It's been a ton of fun. You guys are very gentlemanlike, very sportsmanlike. So this was a fun Sunday afternoon.
Absolutely. Well, Daddy-O, thank you for joining us. This is JW Schmo from Team Raytheon, and we'll see you in the playoffs.